Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream. Thank you so much. So please let me know in the comments if you can hear and see me properly. I feel like the screen is there's like black lines coming in, is it? I don't know why it's wavering. It's probably because of the lights. I hope it's not too bothering for you. Konbanwa. Thank you so much. It's probably the lights, by the way. I didn't notice it last time because we did it in the morning. Konbanwa. I'm really sorry about the flashy screen, by the way. Thank you very much. 先生もお越しいただきましてありがとうございます。よろしくお願いいたします。Okay, so this is Seki Sensei.
こんばんは。少しだけ話しましょうか。
Okay, thank you very much. We can hear you clearly. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So this is going to be another live stream on Let's Ask Seki Sensei. I was actually just taking part in the regular training in Asayama Shinryu. We've been doing for about 3 hours and a half, actually, and we just ended. So it's about time for us to do the live streams. We can see we've already received quite a lot of comments. So while we wait for new comments to be coming, I guess I'd like to take a look at some of the comments that have already been posted on the chat. Hopefully, those of you who sent us the questions are still here. Thank you so much. Okay. We'll see. Etc. But wants to partner training, what can they do and what the online training help? Well, to be honest, there are some things that you could train at home. For example, like the basic drawing methods and such. And there's also the basic kenjutsu training and so on and so forth. And the online lessons are specifically for people who are training individually. So yes, taking part in the online lessons will be a lot of help. これはですね、要はパートナーがいない方、いないんですけれども、もしちょっとでも浅山一年に興味があった場合にどうすればいいですかっていうような質問だったので、それはもう一人でやっていただける傾向もありますので、ぜひオンラインレッスンの方を受けに来てくださいっていうようなお話でございました。What is your thought about Jin Sakai's fighting style in Ghost of Tsushima? 先生、ゴースト of Tsushima ご存知ですか？
わかんないです。
そうですよね。先生 does not know
名前だ
about
けは
it.
知ってるんだけど。
He knows the name, but he doesn't actually know about the video game. I'm sorry. Do you do any randomized sparring in the training, like ランドリ etc.? ランドリのようなこう自由攻防はやりますかっていうような質問ですね。
袋地内っていうね、やつで、門下生同士で、はい、月に1回程度やってます。
So every once a month, we actually use very soft swords. お疲れ様です。To do the random training as well, by the way. So we really just ended our training. So some of the students are going home. Thank you. Question: Is there a chance to online training be recognized from Seki Sensei and those practitioners become Asayama Shinryu members just because of following online training? これはちょっとそうはいかないですね。オンラインレッスンに参加していれば、先生の門下生という入門したという扱いになりますかっていう質問です。
それはならないですね。
そうじゃないですね。やっぱり他の技、できない技も多いですし。
そうそう。できない技もありますし、やっぱりこれは大切なことなんですけど、はい、私に、ね、毎月ちゃんと入門してね、毎月お月謝を払って直接習いに来てくれる人たちに立てなきゃならないミサオというのもあるんです。
そうですね。
そう。だからそれを同じに扱うと門下生に失礼なので。
それはもう当然そうですね。
そうです。
はい。So, of course, if you actually want to be considered one of Seki Sensei's students that's belonging to the Ryuha, unfortunately, online lessons will not be enough. Of course, we will be teaching you everything, just as Seki Sensei will be teaching all of the other students. However, how you will be regarded as a student in the Ryuha or not will be a little bit different, obviously. The people who will be able to come to this dojo, train together with him face-to-face, will be the people who will be called his actual students and members of the Ryuha. For the online lessons, basically it's like a trial lesson. Yeah, we hope you understand. But by the way, what we're teaching is everything is seriously done.
ただね、来たくても来れない人たちのだけどやりたいというお気持ちも 分かるのでこういう機会をね、設けさせていただいてるんでね。
そうですね。
そうそうそう。
で、あと今ちょうど勝手に私の方で申し上げたんですけれども、かというとオンラインレッスンでやってるからといって先生がこの一部のあれを情報を隠してるっていうことでは全くないです、ね。
ないですないです。
全部
隠してるんじゃなくて結果的にそこまで
しかもしれない
いかないだけのことでね。
でも前回のレッスンでも相当細かいところまで教えていただいてたと思うので。
そうそう、
本当に
うちの門下生が
相当
って言ってたよ。
相
よく
当
教えてるって。私らより丁寧に教えてると怒られちゃった。
Yeah, so what we're laughing right now is that in the online lessons, Seki Sensei will be explaining to all the very small details of techniques too that the actual students coming to his dojo were a little bit envying you guys who are coming to the online lessons because he teaches a lot of the details of the techniques. So we hope you understand. Just because you can't come to the dojo and you won't be considered one of the actual students of Asayama Shidu, it doesn't mean that we're not teaching you everything. That's one thing we want to make very clear. Okay, so let me go to the newest comments so we can see you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Question, is it practical to use dual commas? Yes, we do have a lot of techniques. So yes, we do have katas carried on in our ryuha. Okay, sorry I missed the first class with a time calculation error. Will be there next week. こういう方すごく多かったですね。時間差の計算間違えてて、初回のレッスン行きたかったのに間違えてしまったっていう方が、It's okay, by the way, don't worry. You can join the next one. 次回から来ていただけるように。はい。これはいい質問ですね。よく聞かれるんですけども。The next question, Karina, thank you very much. Is there a difference between kodachi and wakizashi, or just two different terms to refer to the same sword? これです。kodachi と wakizashi はどのように違いますかということでございますね。
要するに、内刀とね、通常皆さんが日本刀つってパーで出てくる江戸時代の内刀ね、それと戦国期の反りの深い、ね、刃を下にしてあるこうするね、太刀と違うように違うんですよ。
なるほど。
ただ小太刀っていうのはなかなか物が残ってなくてですね。で稽古場ね、木刀の小さいやつね、あれを脇差しって言わずに小太刀っていうのはその語源が残ったものだと思ってください。
実際古い語源がwakizashiっていうことですよね。So in the past, the wakizashi and kodachi were completely different, just like how a uchikatana and a tachi would be different, actually. But today, when there are not that many kodachi left, actually. So most of all the short katana that are left today are actually the wakizashi. But in terms of the skills that have been carried down in the Budo in Japan, we do often call the kata for the kodachi. But what we're actually using is the wakizashi. So basically, you can understand that the shorter katana that we have left today, in most cases, is just the wakizashi. Kodachi is more of a traditional or an older form of way of calling them. Okay. Do you have techniques for the iron fan? Yes, we do. Please take a look at our video. We have videos for introducing the iron fans, by the way. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, what are the basic elements that you need to master to become a great warrior? We actually made a YouTube shorts about that once, and he explained, Seki Sensei explained to us before that it's actually your courage. Yeah. Even if you have a lot of skills and experience, if you don't have the courage to use it in a battle, then it will be meaningless. So that is the most important part. Grit and courage is important. Can you fight with two wakizashis? wakizashi を2振り使って戦うこともできますかっていう質問もいただいております。
できますけど、そういう伝承はないですね。
そうですよね。
ただ私が知ってる限り、なぎなたの流派の中で、小太刀より長くて大刀より短いなんかね、中途半端な長さのものを同寸のものを2つ使う小太刀みたいなのがなぎなたの流派に伝わってるのを見たことあります。
なるほどなるほど。So of course it's not impossible to fight with two wakizashi, the shorter katana, but there are no actual techniques that have been carried down. To wakizashi. Of course, you could fight it with it, but there are no katas, at least in our ryuha. However, Seki Sensei just explained that he has seen in a naginata, which is the Japanese long hand and the blade at the end. It's almost like a spear, but it has a more curved blade at the end, naginata. In a naginata ryuha, there was a ryuha that teaches two katana style that has the same length, but it's actually a little bit longer than a wakizashi. So it's not as long as the uchi katana, but like in between, and you use the same length katana. So he has seen that before. Okay. Shogo, please, I really need to know for something, how on earth do you defeat either Naginata or Yari with the katana successfully? That's a good question. 次そうなんですけども、ナギナタや槍を持っている相手に対して、刀で勝つ方法ってありますかっていう質問ですね。
ないことはないと思いますよ。
やはり難しいですか。
やっぱりね、最初はね、なぎなた槍の間合いでお付き合いする必要があるんですね。
なるほど。
で、槍が引く瞬間とか、なぎなたが手を通わせて返す瞬間、そこが唯一好きなので、そこにどう入り身するか。
なるほど。
あと、かわし方とかはね、なぎなたなんか下半身も十分狙ってくるので、足をつったりして避けなきゃなんないとかね、いろいろあるわけですね。
そうですよね。
中途半端な状態を狙われるんで、こっちがね。
じゃあ相当こっちが待機して気を変わらないといけないっていうことになりますよね。
だから剣道の立ち合いで、剣道対なぎなたっていうのを、
見たことあります。
剣道の先生がね、なぎなたのすね打ちをね、片足をつった瞬間に、上からボーンと同時に面入れたのを見たことありますよ。あれは見事でしたね。
なるほど。
かわすと打つのが同時でしたから。あれは見事でした。
片手面ですか？
もろ手。
もろ手で。すごい。
こう構えてて、足をスーッと投いでいくところ、上の足をつったと同時にボーンと打ってたんですよ。だからなぎなたの方はふっとなくなったところを面打たれてた。あれは見事でしたね。そういうの見たことありますよ。
So first of all, it is of course extremely difficult to try to defeat an enemy that has a yari, the spear, or naginata, the long pole weapon, with a katana, obviously, because the range of your weapon is completely different. However, of course, these long-range weapons do have its weaknesses. For the yari is when you're about to stab, when you pull back your spear to try to stab from there. Of course, that's a weakness. For the naginata, when you're switching your hands to do the next attack would be for example, weakness for naginata too. So if you're fighting with a katana, you would probably have to wait for that timing to come in order to attack. If you try to do something from yourself, a naginata, a spear could, for example, go for your legs. That's very difficult to do with the katana, for example. However, Seki Sensei was just saying that in a Kendo fight, basically, there was a Kendo and Naginata fight. He actually has seen a sensei who dodged the leg attack from the Naginata and attacked the face and won the battle in Kendo and Naginata fight before. So, of course, it is possible. Very difficult, but if you have the skills, you could win against a Naginata and spear with a katana. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone. How are you guys doing? Okay. What's the best exercise for wheeling a bokken? It would be best if you can take a part in our online lessons, by the way, which you can take a look in the description box. But there are a lot of techniques that's really good for exercise. We'll be making videos about that too. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you very much to you too. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. I tried the outer belt method mentioned, and Asaya keeps falling out compared to the inner belt method. Do you have tips on keeping it in the right position? Thank you very much for your question. ですね、外帯の動画を見て、外帯をちょっとこのように巻いてみたんですけれども、何回やっても鞘がこう、もうストンっていう風な形になってしまうんですけれども、それはどうしたら防げますかという質問でございます。
やっぱ締め方に慣れないとね、本人の加減、きつさの加減っていうのがありますし、で基本的になんだろう、空手着、柔道着とかだとね、ああいう風になっちゃいますね。なるほど。やっぱ袴があってその上での方がいいと思いますね。袴つけられたのかな？
I hope you're wearing a hakama when you put the outer obi. で、私の予想なんですけれども、鞘戻しをされてないんじゃないのかなっていうのも思いますね、おそらく。ぶん投げたままになってしまうと縦になってブランとなってしまうので、それを戻してきてたらそんな状態におそらく外帯でもならないと思うので、おそらく それもあるのかな
あ
というふうな予想しました。
とは、外帯を締めてる位置が悪かったりね。
ああ、なるほど、な
袴の
るほど。
結び目の下に、
あ、
で
そうです。
腰板の下の方に締めないといけないです。
それで中途半端に上とかに巻いてると
そうそうそうそう
ずり落ちてきて緩くなってしまう可能性も。なるほど。
はい。
So we believe that it could be 3 reasons why your outer obi is not working. So number 1, maybe it's just simply too loose, the outer obi. You need to get used to tying it a lot tighter than how you would do in, for example, judo and karate and such, because you need to insert a katana afterwards. And if you move it around, it will start to get a little bit loose. Number 2, if you, for example, do a technique using the katana drawing, for example, after you draw the katana, you need to bring the saya back to this original position, which should be right in front of your belly button. If you do not do that, if you, for example, leave the saya in the side of your body or behind your body, it will easily fall out of your outer obi. Yeah. Number 3, maybe it could be where the position where you're tying the outer obi is not in the right position. If you start to tie it too high when you get started, as you continue to train, it goes lower and it starts to get loose. So it needs to be under the front tie of the hakama and underneath the back. It needs to be under the inner obi's tie when you do the outer obi. So please keep those things in mind for us. And if you're taking the online lessons, you can ask us again. You can ask us a question again during the lessons. Okay. Question: How quickly would something was used on the battlefield where the sheath was already taken away? お疲れ様です。Hopefully we can train with person with Seki Sensei someday. Absolutely. いつか実際対面でお稽古がしたいですっていうふうにこの RN さんがおっしゃってくれます。Thank you very much, Arnell. Simply Sensei being willing to share his knowledge online in a more informal way is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, John Apple. ジョンさんがどんな形であれ先生の知ってらっしゃる知識である経験を広めてくださっていることに本当に心から感謝申し上げますと言ってくださっております。ありがとうございます。Thank you. 宮川さんという方がこんばんはとおっしゃっております。堀さんもいらっしゃいますね。堀さんはもうメンバーにもなってくださいましてありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Sorry, I will be skipping some questions, by the way, because we will not be able to read everything. Because I know, of course, I know Seki Sensei. Some questions about martial arts will, of course, be chosen more often. If you can fight with 2 katanas, can you fight with 2 sickles? Yes, we can fight with 2 sickles. 2刀で戦えるならば2つの鎌で戦うこともできますかという質問なんですけども、これは肩の伝承もございますし、
はい、あります。
はい、ありますね。Yes, of course you can. We will be filming a video soon about the 2 kama style, the 2 sickle style too. Okay. Does the steel of your katana matter? If so, what is the best? We use the Iaito, of course, and it's the same zinc alloy as the other training katana. 今、スーパーチャットもいただきました。Thank you very much for a super chat. Razor Ramen, hello, and thank you, Sensei, for doing another Q&A. Of course, we try to do this every month. Next month, unfortunately, because I will not be able to come to Ibaraki, we will not be able to do this. We'll, of course, be able to continue doing the online lessons, but unfortunately, no live stream. I hope you understand. And your question is, practicing suburi is an important part of the style that you teach. If so, how much and how often should we practice it? ちょうど素振りの動画今日撮影しましたね。
そうそうそう、今日撮りました。
We filmed a video about suburi just today. Suburi, by the way, just in case you guys don't know, is the swinging practice that you do on your own. Yeah, most Ryu styles would do it, like, for example, warm up before they start training and such. 素振りが、すごく重要なことはどの流派でもきっとそうだと思うんですけれども、例えば、どのぐらいの頻度で何回ぐらいやるのが適切ですかというふうな質問でございます。
それは言えないね。人によるだろうしね。
そうですよね。That's a very difficult question. It would be up to the person.
ただ、大事なことはね、いいんです。1日ね、5分でも10分でもいいんです。時間があったらそれに触れることです。
そうですね。毎日やるっていうことの方が重要っていうことですね。
毎日やるっていうことがね。
なるほど。
そう、まとまってできるのが週1、週2であっても、毎日ね、寝る前にちょっとね、こうやって持ってみるとかね。
なるほど。
かの宮本武蔵もそれをね、行住座がゴリモクリサリハンリと教えるわけですよ。
なるほど。はい。
あ、意味わかんないね。
わからなかったですね。すいません。
行住座がと。
行住座が。はい。
つまり、立っていても座っていても行うところと。で、五里、目里、去り、反里。喋っていても、ね、黙っていても、お茶飲んでても、ご飯食べてても、そこに標本の理から離れるなっていうところで、
なるほど。
そう。だからね、今の人であっても、1日1回はその寝る前でも何でもいいです。剣のことを思い出してね、ちょっとこうやってみるとか、いうのが非常に大事でね。皆さんね、毎日ね、食器を持つでしょって。
ご飯を食べるために
そうですね。それ毎日ね、考えずやるじゃないですか。ナイフなりフォークなり持ってね、食事をするっていう。それと同じように毎日ちょっとこう触れてみるっていうのを習慣づけるということ。
なるほど。
自分の体の一部にしていくっていう。
そちらの方が大事ですね。
そちらのがまず大事ですね。
何百回やってますっていうことよりも。
そう。
わかりました。ありがとうございます。So, Seki Sensei just explained that how many times you should do it, how often you should do it is really up to that person. What's more important is that you try to train the katana every single day. He brought out a phrase, a very famous quote from Miyamoto Musashi, an example. He left words saying that it's always training. When you're standing, when you're sitting, when you're eating, when you're drinking tea, when you're even sleeping or lying down, it's always training. Yeah. So what's more important is that you take even 5 minutes is okay, 10 minutes is fine too. If you have the time to do some training, let's say before you go to bed, you do a little bit of swinging of the katana, just holding on to the handle is fine. Bring it into your life, everyday life, as if you're just eating your food, brushing your teeth, taking a bath. If you can treat holding a katana or whatever martial art you're training as something equivalent to that, that would be much more important than a few hundred doing suburi every single day. That's the concept that's more important. Okay? Thank you very
あ
much.
とは
はい。
流祖ね、浅山一伝流の流祖、浅山一伝祭の残した言葉、メッセージですね。一伝も人も手二つ、我もまた。熟行次第ぞ、身を砕くべし。つまり、一伝が特別な存在ではないと。一伝とて手は2本しかないと。人もそうだろうと。つまり、熱心な修行次第ぞと。身を砕けと。そう教えてる。一伝祭が特別じゃないと。人と何も変わらんのよと。ただそれだけ修行したのよという。
なるほど、なるほど。そうですよね。So Seki Sensei introduced another quote from the founder actually of our Ryuha, Asayama Ichiden Ryu, Asayama Ichiden Sai. He left a quote saying that I have 2 arms, you have 2 arms, we all must train. Basically, of course, he must have been a genius, right? He must have been a very brilliant swordsman to be able to create a Ryuha himself. But that doesn't mean he is a god or something. He is not holy. He was a human being too. So basically, we all have 2 arms. We all have to do the same amount of training. So train. It's basically one of the phrases that the founder of Asayama Ichiden left. So that's also something that Seki Sensei wanted to introduce. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so then, oh my gosh, so many comments. Thank you so much. And George Wright, thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you. And Maria-san, thank you very much for your super sticker. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. We actually see some channel members giving us some comments too. Let's take a look at those as well. Stefan, thank you very much for coming over here too. On his main channel, Seki Sensei shows a bunkai of what looks like a kata we call Yamaoroshi in MSR Kamimoto-ha, but he shows Teki reaching across the front, whereas my new-ha talks about Teki grabbing. なるほど。山おろしをされていらっしゃいましたね、塚田さんと。そうですよね。それで今おっしゃっているのが、ですね。But it shows Teki reaching across the front, whereas my Ryuha talks about Teki grabbing. 山おろしはどういう想定でしょうか？敵がこう
それは浮き雲。
浮き雲ですよね。
山おろしは相手が自分の刀に手をかけるんです。 そこのところをこう入って、太ももを踏んづけながら、こう手に使ってして、こう入って、こっちへバットして、こう抜きつける。
そうですね。
抜き雲はこれが取りに来るから、こう逃げて、こうやって、こうなって。
っていうことですよね。なるほど。ほら、おそらく今、この、ステファンさんで僕のメインチャンネルでもメンバーに入ってくださってるんですけど、おっしゃってること多分一緒だと思うんですよね、おそらく。ただただ状況がそこに到達しなかっただけで。Stefan, I was just talking with Seki Sensei, but I'm pretty sure the situation is almost about the same, just some small details that are different, by the way. Yeah, so Seki Sensei was just saying that what he has learned too is basically almost the same. So there shouldn't be much difference. If you can give me a DM, I might not clearly understand your question. I'm sorry. You can send me a DM again, Stefan, by the way, to ask me again. I'll be with him tomorrow too. So, and hold on, there was someone else. I guess that was just it. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. That's interesting. Considering Iaido and Kendo are now pretty well known, even around the world, how do you get people interested in Kenjutsu instead? これはちょっと面白い質問ですね。今、世界的にはおそらく、イアイドであったり、剣道がすごく人気だと思うんですけれども、剣術により多くの人に興味を持ってもらうためには、どうすればいいと思いますかというふうにおっしゃっております。おそらくご本人も現実の方をされてるんではないですかね。
難しいね。
難しいですよね。That's a really difficult question.
まあ、あれでしょうね。まあ、剣道でしょ？
はい、剣道、ヤイドっていうものがやはり人気ですけれども。
刃物になった時にどうかとかね。刃物だったら、これはできませんとか。刃物だったらこの方がいいとか、そういうことをこう伝えられれば、ちょっとこう区別化、差別化ができて、面白いなってなるかもしれないですね。同じ状況でも、市内だったらこう行くけど、剣道だったらこうできるけど、これは刃物の場合この方が手っ取り早いんだとか、この方が合理だよっていうね、そういうことがこう教えられれば楽しくなるんじゃないですかね。
なるほど。日本語チャンネルでも剣道三段五段とされてたようなことですよね。
そうそう。まあね。
なるほど。So it's very difficult of course, for people who are already training in Iaido and Kendo to get interested in Kenjutsu because Kenjutsu is completely very, very different. Yeah. But one thing that we could say to those people is that the skills that you, for example, train in Kendo, we're not saying that Kendo is superior or inferior, by the way. Of course, Seki Sensei has trained in Kendo for a very, very long time as well. He's in his 5th dan, so we're not saying that. But if you, whether or not you can do the skills with a real katana in Kendo, that's a question mark there, basically. So you can't fight with the style in Kendo with a real katana, basically. If you use a real katana, if you want to fight, you need to learn Kenjutsu in order to be able to do that. Yeah. So maybe if we try to explain that in our videos a little bit more, maybe more people will be interested in actually using a real katana and cutting, well, not cutting, but fighting, doing battles with real katana, how that would work. Maybe more people could be interested. Yeah. But of course, no one knows. It's a very, very difficult question.
あとなんだ、剣道で、これは反則ですと。反則ですという定義付けられてて、誰もやらないこと、それが古流の剣術には、正当な技術として型の中に伝承されてたりするんでね。なるほど。さっきも見てたでしょ。はい。あれ反則だから。いや、そうです。絶対大丈夫です。絶対すぐに終わっちゃいます。退場ですね。退場です。なるほど。
So also, Seki Sensei explained that there are a lot of techniques in Kendo that will be forbidden in Kendo games that you will not be able to do in a Kendo fight. But in Koryu or in Kenjutsu, of course, there are just normally, those techniques will be just a normal technique that exists and we must train it, for example. So that's also really interesting too. There are tons of much more, in a way, you need to be very careful in the training. but it's very practical with the katana, the real katana. So if you get interested in kenjutsu, you'll be able to train in such skills. So, all right. So then, everyone, thank you so much. It has been 30 minutes, so it is about time we have to end, unfortunately. It was really, really nice talking with you guys. Thank you so much. 30分になりましたので、
はい
ちょっとこの後ですね、メンバーシップの方の生配信も少しだけさせていただければと思っております。
返信
メンバーシップの方も今始めておりまして、そちらの生配信も少しだけ15分ほどやらせていただけたらと思
一
って。
回切って。
そうですね。
はい
こちら皆さんに聞ける方なので。Okay, so everyone, thank you very much. So I was just explaining to Seki Sensei too that we recently started our membership on this Let's Ask Seki Sensei channel. And every time I come to Ibaraki and do the training here with everyone, we'll be doing the regular live stream for about 30 minutes. And after that, we'll be doing the membership live stream too. So anyone who is in the membership, you'll be able to ask a lot more questions, and your questions will be, of course, answered much more quicker. So if you're interested in membership, please join. We can take a look at the description box. And also, we have started the online lessons where you can directly learn from Seki Sensei the basic skills of Asayama Shinryu. We've already been welcoming more than 44 students, and it's getting really, really excited. There's been a lot of people asking us, will we be able to actually ask questions for Seki Sensei? Yes, you can. Will we be able to get feedback from Seki Sensei? Yes, you can. So if you're interested, I hope you can also take a look at the description box and also my Patreon page. The lessons information will all be there. Okay, then thank you so much, everyone. We'll be seeing you in May, unfortunately, not in April, because I won't be able to come to Ibaraki. You'll be able to see Seki Sensei again. But if you want to see more of Seki Sensei, of course, you can take a look at the join the online lessons. Again, link description box, guys. Yep. Thank you so much. 先生ありがとうございました。一旦こちらはおじさせていただきます。Everyone, thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you so much.